Hello, everyone. I thought I'd try something a little different in this latest newsletter, and I am going to attach a video along with the written materials below. Personally, I know I like to watch videos instead of reading. I'm more of a visual and auditory learner, so I thought, why not give this a try for my visual and auditory learners out here? So, the topic for today's newsletter is the one thing that we often miss when we try to reduce stress, the one strategy that we normally don't think about. And it's something so simple and so within our reach, but something that we don't really utilize really to our advantage. So, let's back up a little bit and talk a little bit about stress. Usually, that's a word that has a negative connotation to it. We think of stress as something we want to avoid, something we want to reduce in our lives, something that we don't want to take on. And if you do have certain chronic pain or chronic illness, you probably hear your doctor say a lot that, oh, just eat healthier, sleep better, and reduce your stress. But what does that really mean to reduce stress? It is so vague and so broad. And how do we get away from all these stress when every day there seems to be more and more demand for ourselves to show up? And so I turned to the research by this health psychologist, Kelly McGonigal. She is on TED Talk, so you can just Google her, Kelly McGonigal, McGonigal, yeah, McGonigal. Had to double check myself there. Kelly McGonigal, TED Talk, and her talk is amazing, very informative. And her topic and her learning point there was that we need to start seeing stress as something that is actually beneficial for us, because our miraculous, beautiful, and intricately designed body actually has an innate built-in stress resiliency response that is that just increases when we look at stress with through a different kind of lens. So what she meant was that during a stressful situation, your body actually releases a hormone called oxytocin, and you might know this as the love hormone or the cuddle hormone. That's its more casual name. And what it does is makes you feel like you want to go hug someone. So, for example, a mom with a newborn child, she will have a flood of oxytocin in her body. And you'll probably feel it too when you hug somebody, when you feel loved and supported. That kind of good sense of really good, fuzzy, warm feeling inside. So yeah, that's due to oxytocin. And what's happening when you feel stressed is that your body actually releases oxytocin, which encourages you and stimulates you to want to reach out to somebody for help. And as you reach out for somebody for help and you get support and love in return, there's a positive feedback loop that stimulates even more oxytocin release, because then you feel that warm, fuzzy, cared for feeling. And that actually increases your resiliency to stress. Now, maybe you don't have immediate family or friends that you can lean on, but if you do, really take advantage of that. I know today we're so used to just kind of locking in onto the screens and texting instead of calling. Really lean on that and really just call up someone. Hey, I need to meet up. Can we meet? I need to talk to somebody. All right. So lean on the resources that you have. Now, if you live somewhere far away, or if you have just moved to somewhere new, provide a hand to help. You can volunteer. You can donate your services and provide a lending hand to help. That will, according to Kelly McGonigal, that will also stimulate a release of oxytocin in your body, which again will increase your resiliency to stress. So either asking for help will increase your oxytocin release, or providing help, or a little bit of both. Okay, so my point today is that I know that for people who have chronic pain, chronic illness, chronic fatigue, it can feel so isolating. You can feel so misunderstood. Sometimes you go through rounds of mixed diagnoses. Maybe you're still being mixed diagnosed until someone finally sees you and says, I get it. I see what you have. I get it. I can help you. And that's only fortunate few number of people who can find a provider and support that's like that. And many people I know are still still feel very alone and misunderstood, because it's still chronic pain, chronic fatigue. It's still something that many people, and including physicians, think it's just something that happens in the head, which is completely wrong. It's not in the head at all. It's real physical pain, real pathology. Okay, and that's why I wanted to create a Facebook community, Yoga for Pain and Fatigue, where I can lend my helping hand to anybody who is experiencing chronic pain, chronic fatigue, whether it's just physical pain itself or fatigue and pain as a result of other chronic illnesses or autoimmune disorders, which I see a lot. And I want to create this supportive community where I will share tons of valuable resources and free yoga sequences and research to help anyone in need, just to feel heard, just to feel understood, just to feel like they have someone they can lean on and resources they can trust. And for people in pain and with fatigue, it's so hard for them to, for you to socialize, for them to socialize, and that social withdrawal can further lead to more pain and more anxiety and more depression and more sleepless nights. So I want to open this community virtually. I know nothing can replace the value of being in person, but I just want to help as many people as I can. And I mean, I'm fortunate that I live in San Francisco, and if you live in Bay Area or a large metropolitan area, you're fortunate that you have so many resources. But, I have people reach out where they live a little further away, or they are from a little town, and they don't have the abundance of resources and complementary and alternative therapies as we do have here in San Francisco. And that's why I want to create this Facebook community, to provide at least some of the resources to them where they can start to feel heard, feel seen, and feel supported. And this community is also open to anyone suffering from chronic pain or fatigue, or maybe somebody suffering from chronic pain and fatigue, to support each other. I'm in there a lot to give resources, suggestions, free practices, but also for you to support one another, because it does get lonely. So again, feel free I would love for you to join. Even if you don't have chronic pain or chronic fatigue, it's a wonderful community to be in, because I do share a lot of stress management techniques and just lifestyle and dietary guidelines, as well as free practices that can benefit anybody and everybody. So even if you don't have severe pathologies, you can still benefit from the group. And if you do know somebody who are experiencing the severe symptoms, please send them to the group. Just let them feel accepted, feel heard and seen. Okay, the group again is called Yoga for Pain and Fatigue, and I'm linking it below in the newsletter in the written portion at the very bottom. So go ahead and click through, or you can just go on Facebook and search Yoga for Pain and Fatigue. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I will see you next time.